Welcome to For Glory Series number 2. I'm YoshnJa, your MC and commentator for this evening's match. I am also joined with Guitarmanager, who will also be co-commentating tonight's matchup. Guitar, would you like to say hello to our viewers? Good deal, good deal. Appreciate that. I'm also looking forward to commentating with you as well, Guitar. It's actually, I think it'll be our first time doing so this will be a new thing for us as well. So before we get into all the things, so what do you want to introduce tonight's competitors? From the player's perspective that we'll be viewing from, we'll be watching as blue team WngMan. He is the former competitive Season 1 champion who has started with a clean slate of competitor points this go around. And from the red team side, and this match's game host, Guillotine, who's also a recent newcomer to Tactics League. However, with that being said, he has quickly grown in skill and wits, adapting to the PvP patch, and I expect to see great plays coming from him. Guillotine will be off mic for this event, but I will echo any comments he makes in his stead. Now, before we get into the match, there's a couple things I do want to go over. Let's first go over tonight's format, which is Standard. Standard is our classic 5v5 signature format. With Standard, players deploy 1 unique plus 4 generics, or even a 5 generics only team if they choose to. Both players will also share a pool of 40 actions, so every decision matters. They will also both be on a 13-minute chess-like timer, which doesn't result in a game over once it reaches 0, but rather starts a 20-second reset during each of their units' turns. If they fail to execute an action before then, that unit's turn will immediately come to an end. The loser of our first game gets to choose whichever map is a part of the Tactics League map pool for Game 2, as long as it wasn't already listed from the maps randomly rolled. Now let's take a quick look at the current competitor points standing as of tonight. Competitor points are Tactics League's measure of competition participation and ranking across the current season's sanctioned events. For Season 2, currently, Guitarmanager holds first place with 800 points. The second place is the Rumor at 400. Third place, Dr. J at 300. At fourth place, Doggo K at 200. At fifth place, Dubs Only at 150. And then at sixth place, A Cook 10 at 100. And seventh place, I'm the King at 100, with A Cook and King having a tiebreaker that applied for Cook, taking the 6th place position. For tonight's event and future... Oh, go ahead. What's up? Yep. For tonight's events and future For Glory events, first place will receive 300 points, and second place will receive 150, which will quickly add up in the rankings over time from subsequent participation. Now, let's get this match going by first setting up WngMan and Guillotine for Game 1. I'll be right back with you all momentarily as we perform roster verification, starting with Game 1 on Zeirchele Falls. I'll be back with you guys in about 4 minutes. Okay.
Oh, I'm hyped.
Welcome, everyone. This is Game 1 on Zeirchele Falls. You're watching WngMan Team Blue versus Guillotine Team Red. Guillotine is the game host, and WngMan is the game guest.
WngMan will have the green units on screen.
Correct, yes. Alright, so WngMan's going to take the first minute, maybe a little less, to gauge his opponent's team. We'll just make sure, check abilities, check gear. Very important to spend like the first minute just to see what your opponent has. Kind of make mental notes on certain things that might be considered a threat or something that you might want to be watching for. Like even what we see on the screen right now, that Zeirchele Toadsong combo can be pretty nasty. I mean, heck, even a Cashmere Chantage combo can be pretty nasty. So, couple dangerous weapon setups.
Yeah, Guillotine definitely brought some spicy stuff.
He definitely did, and I'm curious to see how it plays out here. They both have pretty respectable teams. I think this is a team that Guillotine has used quite a bit, if I'm not mistaken, before. So there seems to be like a comfort level, if you will.
Yeah, I haven't gotten near as many matches with Guillotine as I have Wing. But from what I've seen of their play and, you know, checking this team out really good ahead of time, seems like he's gonna kind of always leave himself in a Hail Mary kind of play if things are going bad. And he's got a lot of really high damage, real high threat units if things are going good, you know. So kind of always gonna have a chance no matter what position he's at, I think, in the game. And if he gets rolling, it could be a good steamroll. But obviously, WngMan is really good at this. He's brought a really nasty team, so looking forward to seeing how this rolls out.
Oh, definitely. So
definitely been on the receiving end of his shenanigans before.
Oh, we do love our shenanigans. Alright, so we're swapping over here to Guillotine's turn. I believe it is his AWOL's action. I didn't quite catch the AT on that one. Oh, it's the thief, never mind. Forgot the acting unit glows white, so it makes it a little easier to spot, actually. Alright, so he's going to go and position the thief over and do a borrowed time from Steel. He's going to give her self-haste, increasing her speed by 1/4 of her speed, effectively. And shifting gears over to WngMan's Mustadio. Now, this Mustadio is an Orator, so that means that he doesn't have the innate safeguard of Machinist, but he does have Persuasive, which could be pretty powerful, you know, especially depending on how much damage you're able to output at once. So what Persuasive does is when you do a basic attack, if the basic attack would put the target into critical HP, so 20% or less of their max HP, then it automatically inflicts Charm on that unit. And of course, Charm means that that unit kind of more or less works for you. The opponent doesn't control that unit for like about 2 turns, and ideally that unit is making benefit on your behalf. So, you know, either attacking opponent's units or maybe even giving you a heal or something like that, depending on what skill sets they have, things like that. So WngMan does have his units kind of disperse a little bit, so that's gonna make it to that barrier. He's not gonna be able to cover everybody, but he's gonna get a majority of his team here. Missing Mustadio only. He's gonna get Protective Shell out, really wide AoE. Like Wing's kind of extra eyeball in the Zeirchele Toadsong Blue Mage there, which, to be honest, I'd be really cautious of there too. Though it's not a guaranteed hit because it doesn't have Chantage, but still, that's potential stop and Toad on an unit. And if you can get just even 1/2 of that, that's already going to be threatening. If you can get both inflictions, then that unit's in big trouble. So looks like it's going to be probably kind of keeping an extra eye on where Guillotine goes with that Blue Mage. But for the time being, it's Guillotine's Onion Knight's turn. She does have a Veiled Wii U and Ebon Blade combo, so that lets her do a 3-ranged book and sword attack. He's going to start off with the first turn focus and get the power, magic, and speed up by 1. Alright, and the disabled Beowulf is going to shift back to the first point on his side for the time being. It looks like WngMan is going to try to take advantage of Geomancy here. It's a real common thing to see people put their Geomancers in the water so they can get access to Torrent. And Torrent, if those who aren't familiar, does Toad Infliction. It's got a 19% chance to toad each 3 of those targets. Oh, that's super unfortunate. The Dragoon gets toaded there, and he's about to go, so that's really unfortunate for Guillotine there. WngMan's going to definitely take advantage of that hit, so that was a good play there by WngMan. Just taking advantage of the enemy team stack still being stacked together, being able to get that multi-Geomancy off.
Sorry for my absence. I think I got things cleared back, but I'm back in the game.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, my stream dropped for a second. Sorry, buddy.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. Understandable.
Looks like quite a bit happened when I was gone.
Quite a bit. We're still getting the show
statuses going on.
Yeah, we got 2 hard-hitting statuses there. Beowulf is disabled, and we got a toaded Dragoon there. And sure, speaking of which, it is Dragoon's turn, but he doesn't have black magics, of course, so he's not going to be able to tone himself back to normal form. So at this point, it's kind of a dead weight unit until Guillotine can respond and get him out of that status. Using something like Remedy or Asuna.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in. I think you just move it to safety. You can also just wait.
He's going to head for the hills there, if you will, and wait out the remaining of the CT there, and it's going to shift over to the Blue Mage. The Blue Mage is slowed due to the Toad Song, so Toad Song has initial slow, so if you start with it, it will cause you to gain your speed slower for the time being. Slow is only 25% of your speed instead of 50 in the original game, so it's not as impactful as it was. It still can be impactful in certain situations. But he's going to go ahead and get Bard Song off there with Rousing Melody. That is a really unfortunate roll there. You only got 1 haste and it was on the Blue Mage. So already it's not looking too good for Guillotine. Between the double inflictions and then the forfeits team miss on the haste.
I do like that he's keeping his Onion Knife close to that Mustadio. That could give him some chances if he breaks that gun. Or no, that's a different. I'm sorry. That is not. He's equipped differently than I thought he was. But yeah, he's keeping that Onion Knight up there. So still some chances.
Yeah.
Yeah, an unfortunate start.
Definitely unfortunate start. And currently, Wing does have a lot of range control, if you will. So, I mean, between Musadi's aim shot being able to get like disable or mobilize off, and then he also has Geomancy. If that Geomancer just kind of chills in the water right now, he can torrent a decent bit of the map. As Guillotine heads further and further up, it's going to be a little harder to get multiple AoEs off, but still, like, it's not good. It's not a good start at all. But this is still the very beginning of the game, so there's plenty of time to try to get around that type of stuff. Guillotine's going to go into a Murasame heal there, 168 heal between the Thief and the Blue Mage.
Yeah, you'll notice that WngMan definitely went for some of Guillotine's range units early on to kind of, like you said, keep that range control.
Yeah.
That Dragoon is a big high damage range unit.
Absolutely, and it's a threatening unit too. I think its jumps it's like 500 or something mitigated. So I mean, the fact that he got toted out right then and there, that's really rough. Speaking of which, while Wing is passing through his turn, I'm trying to remember, does Guillotine have items? Okay, his Beowulf does have items, but that Beowulf's also disabled, so... Oh man, that's kind of rough. I believe Beowulf is his only sourcing of cleansing too currently. So
yeah. Does Estina from the Blue Mage Pure Disable on Beowulf maybe?
oh, okay, we do get a proc there from the Ebon Blade. That's Unholy Darkness. But there is a lot of elemental mitigation there on that Blue Mage, so it will chip the Blue Mage decent, but it was a good total amount of damage hit there. Almost got the Blue Mage down to critical.
Yeah, good play.
Wing's going to follow up with a Faith on this Mustadio. That's going to get Mustadio's Faith stat to 100 technically, and that's going to empower his Glacial Gun shots that are also already empowered by Arcane Strength. Alright, we did get a little bit more haste out there by Guillotine, but it's still not enough for the most part, and the units that did get hit didn't really necessarily need it currently, so it's got to work around that. For now, Wing does have board presence with ranging control. Let's see what it does with this Mustadio. Alright, looks like I'm going to try to go for the small shot there. The middle shot to level 2, but the level 1 actually connected there, so that actually saved the Thief from going into Charmed due to Persuasive. So we did get a little good RNG there in favor for Guillotine there, so we're on the up and up.
Yep.
And Beowulf is still disabled, but they should be coming out of there momentarily.
That gun is pretty nasty on this map.
Yeah.
Tough map to not have the range on.
Right, yeah. Not having the counter range is kind of putting Guillotine a little bit in a bind, I suspect. The Onion Knight is probably would be his most ranged unit currently. And I'm thinking that Wing is probably about to start checking her as well in a moment. She is pretty healthy there still, thanks to the region and stuff like that, so not gonna really be able to do too much to her yet.
If things continue to go as they are, potentially be something that Guillotine could think about when selecting maps in game 2.
Yes, absolutely. I'm glad you brought that up, because that is a being able to pick the map going into game 2 if you lose the first game could be really good just for what your king comp is. Kind of go for a map that would be stronger fitting. Alright, looks like Wing's going to go ahead for the 204 Tinglevine. That's going to down Guillotine's Thief, so that's the first KO of this game. Wing is up 5-4. That's another rousing melody hit.
So I missed it early on. Was the Toad proc from the Geomancer?
Correct. Yes, he got a 3-hit torrent, and he got the Dragoon toaded from that hit.
Yeah. WngMan would know very well to do that on this map.
Yeah, this map is notorious for that. So I mean, like, that's you don't see Geomancy much, but like for certain maps, especially Zeirchele Falls, like man, it's pretty powerful, especially if you can get the early game I can get to you while you're still grouped Geomancy, and then just try to get at least 1 or 2 procs, and that's pretty much it.
So I think the game as is, definitely getting that Dragoon out of Toad would be a high priority if it can happen.
Yeah, I agree.
And then trying to get some Hail Mary plays. Trying to get some Hail Mary plays with the Blue Mage for Guillotine would be a good effort. With that Stop Blade and the Toad Song staff that also turns units into Toads, he could start putting a hurt on some of those troublesome units if he plans it out right, but looking a little tough.
Agreed.
Yeah, White Mage casting re-raise for WngMan is just kind of keeping everything super safe for him.
I mean, yeah, right now he doesn't really even have to go. I mean, he is in Guillotine side of the map at this point, but he didn't really have to go so far over either. I mean, he has a range presence, kind of coasting it right now, if you will. Just kind of, okay, well, you're disabled, you're towed. I'm gonna kind of just keep these buffs going. I'm just gonna get my units slowly to you, and you're not really gonna be able to do a whole lot about it right now because you are kind of getting locked up more and more. So,
as somebody who's been on the receiving end of this, playing against WngMan, I've definitely learned to have a plan. Keep your units safe round one and kind of try to match him on buffing. If you let him get started, it's a real tough game.
right.
But I'm sure Guillotine is definitely a great strategic player.
Oh, for sure.
But I
for
think
sure.
getting some benefits like this will help him see some of the potential he can do super early on. I think this will be a really good learning match for him.
Absolutely agree. And I mean, yeah, this is also kind of showcasing the power of statuses. Like, I mean, kind of just going from turn 1 to turn 3, it's already been kind of crippling Guillotine without really even having to engage WngMan. He's already has a unit out of play through Toad Song. He has a down unit now, but thankfully the disables off Beowulf, so Beowulf can respond with items next go around if that's what he's going for. All right, and sadly there. Decided to have Sage Ring, so that Ebon Blade sword is just going to top him off, even though he's already at full health. But not getting the proc there and potentially getting a curse status would have been ideal. But that would be such a low ball risk. Like it's rare to see that happen without Chantage, or even without like status boost, things like that.
Yeah, and to point this out. Like looking at that Warrior Mustadio unit, it's all about nasty ice damage. So if Guillotine had that, a Sage Ring or more elemental resistance on some of his units, he would be able to deal with that a little bit better as well.
Yeah, for sure. Well, this is a impactful play here.
Obviously, the stats.
Oh yeah. So Guillotine's not opting to free his Dragoon out with Remedy, so he is bringing it down towards WngMan's Geomancer and Blue Mage. So I'm going to take a wild guess that he's aiming to Spellblade something, or he's going to go for 42% chance break. That it will get shield blocked, so that will prevent a stone from landing on that Blue Mage. Alright, and Guillotine's going to shift over his Blue Mage towards Wing's stack as well.
I'm guessing a melee attack.
Yeah, I mean, right now, yeah, it's 100% worth it. He needs to get a little bit more control on the board. Wait, but who is he going for? Alright, we got the stop, and we got, oh! Okay. That was great. That's
kind of unfortunate. So if he would have turned, he would have potentially been able to turn him into a toad. The re-raise wouldn't have been as impactful when he came back as a frog. So
right, but
nice KO, but
yeah, we love to see the crit knockback.
Might not have been great for me.
Right, rolled another level 1 shot there. Still 450 for level 1. That is faith boosted. Mustadio putting in the work.
Yep. I think bringing that thief up would have been a good plan for Guillotine 2 to try to get.
Yeah. Either getting
of his own ready, but
right. Either getting the Phoenix on the thief or getting the Remedy on the Dragoon. Like just getting more units back into play, I think would have been more vital than going for the really risky break. We don't have Protect Shell up on Guillotine's team as well, so that's what we're looking at as unmitigated damage there. Alright, Muramasa will not connect neither Confuse on Beowulf or the Blue Mage, but they still take a really nasty hit there. And Wing's going to retreat his Geomancer back to the water where he enjoys the chill.
Yep.
And that's going to get Wing's Blue Mage back up with the Raise there. I believe he still has the re-raise just because he caught him before he hit 100 CT. Wing will connect 3 out of the 5 units with the Rousing Melody Haste there. Otherwise, yeah, he still has that re-raise just because he did catch her before he actually got the re-raise off, so even better there, so he maintained that. So oh man, if the Tri Breath connects, that's a double kill there. It does. Alright, so Guitars, Beowulf, and Blue Mage will both go down. And it is now only Guillotine's excuse me. Correct. I don't know. Those G's, man, they mess me up sometimes.
How dare you?
But Guillotine now only has 2 units remaining on the board. The Onion Knight and the Toad, the Froggy Dragoon. Alright, Wings Protect Shell is now falling off, so this is also a decent moment.
To give Guillotine.
So what?
Oh, I was gonna say give Guillotine a month or 2, and then you can start calling him Guitar. With as fast as he's learning the game.
Yeah. He's definitely has a big grasp. This is a decent check though. It's kind of weird because like we're kind of watching Wing just kind of like almost across the map, just take control without having to really get in his face. He's now, of course, he got in his face like a little later turns in, but he already kind of set the position of just I don't have to. Alright, that's a level 3 shot there.
And,
so that will take the Onion Knight down. 720 hit.
And for people watching at home, we've all been through games like this.
Yes.
Generally, they just make really good learning experiences.
Right.
If I was Guillotine, I've got 4 or 5 different new things to think about when I'm building my next game, or 4 or 5 new things to think about just for the next match. Like what did WngMan focus on round 1 kind of stuff? Where were some of my weak points, and how can I change that tactically? And Guillotine will definitely do it. So.
Oh yeah.
We'll make changes.
Well, sadly, the Dragoon is, of course, a sudden duck. Not able to make any actions here, so yeah, Guillotine just kind of is bringing it forward. So that's kind of it. I mean, he's not gonna be able to do anything offensively, anyways, and just kind of wait for Wing to kind of just move in and get the Dragoon down. For those that are not aware, the Bard is dancing, and it's due to an item called Garment Ring, which makes the opposite, or gives you either Bard song or dance based on your gender, and like the opposite of the gender. So that's how he's able to do so. So really hard-hitting 468 unmitigated Geomancy there from WngMan's Geomancer, and that will do it there. Did you catch the actions on that guitar by chance? The ending actions?
Yeah. I caught all the in.
How many actions was that?
Oh, I'm sorry, that I did not catch.
All good.
I could go back on YouTube and double check.
Actually, I'm glad you mentioned that, because exactly what I just did. 26. Glad you brought that up.
Okay, cool.
Alright, let me go ahead and unmute and deafen these guys real quick. Alright, Wing and Guillotine, have you guys both unmuted? Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
GG's to you both.
Thank you.
And now that we're concluded the first game of the series, we're going to be shifting gears over to game 2. Since Guillotine did lose game 2, Guillotine, you get the option to choose your map. Let me go ahead and just message him that real quick, so you can kind of think about what map he wants to go with.
pros and cons of having it. International game. Play all over the world, so some of us have language barriers.
Yeah. All right, give him a second to respond there, and then we'll.
Great to see some people from the other side of the world playing.
Oh, for sure. No, that's honestly, it's a lovely thing to see. All right, he is messaging me, so give me 1 sec. He said, wait a minute. Maybe try to figure it out which map he wants.
Which is a smart thing for him to take his time on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Get message me back. Alright, he said Mandalia plane.
Oh, alright.
Alright, and now that we know what game 2 is, I'm going to go ahead and put the stream on a brief downtime period for about... We'll do 5 minutes, because it might take a second to get the switch-ins taken care of. So I'll be back with you all momentarily. Alright, and we are back. We are starting game 2 on Mandalia Plain. WngMan is currently 1-0 to Guillotine. This is a deciding game potentially for Wing. If he can take this game, then he will win the For Glory Series 2 match. However, if Guillotine can take Wing down here, then we will go into game 3, which will be the deciding factor. Best of luck to both. So for this game, WngMan has swapped out his Blue Mage for his Ninja, and for Guillotine, he swapped out Beowulf for Ramza, and he also swapped out his female Iron Knight for his male Iron Knight, which the main differences between the two gear-wise is that the male has a Yoichi bow, where the female had the Bellweave and Ebon Blade combo.
I think this could potentially be a better map for Guillotine.
I do believe so, yes. Let's keep in mind that Wing still has a lot of like ranging status potential that Guillotine's going to have to kind of push through forward first, but I do think that he's a little better set up for this go around. Hoping that Ramza doesn't get looked at too heavily, because I think he's going to be kind of the cornerstone of enabling Guillotine to push forward, but I could be wrong there.
Yeah, I think Guillotine has a few units that could really mess up Wing's team if he can keep him protected. The Dragoon's also another one of those.
Oh yeah.
You know, he could manage, he could potentially like one-shot Lustadio or something if he timed his Dragoon right.
Alright, looks like some Wings wants to go ahead and start very early engagement there on turn 1 and tossed a, I forgot the name of the bomb, the lightning ball, Spark Bomb, I think is what it's called. I can't remember the name off the top, but he threw a Spark Bomb at Guillotine's Iron Knight, and that hit for 280 thanks to Power Throw, which increases throw damage. So the Iron Knight took a nice little hit there. But speaking of which, it's now the Iron Knight's turn.
This Sunny Knight could put in some damage if it can connect. It'll
right,
if it can break
connect.
that weapon.
No break there. He
Not
doesn't
break
have.
the weapon, looks like.
He doesn't have Chantage, but he has Iron Gloves, which honestly is probably going to be better suited for this matchup, considering that he got heavily statused last game. So Iron Gloves is basically a pretty much ribbon and accessory form for Iron Knights. So Guillotine doesn't have a whole lot he really has to worry about with that on, thankfully. Going to go ahead and move his Ramza to the side and get a shot at.
The Ninja does have still as a back ability.
Yes.
The secondary,
He does.
and the Onion Knight is safe from that because if it if the ninja steals his bow, he can just start punching people with 2 hands. He gets an innate double dueled and innate martial arts in the PvP.
That is correct. Yep. So yeah, stealing from Knights are always a little dangerous.
Yep, I do like that he went for the attack there.
I agree.
Even if it didn't pan out with the break.
I agree. Yeah, like kind of trade hostility for hostility, if you will. All right, looks like Wings Mustadia is going to go ahead and preach to himself and get his faith up by 10. It's going to set his faith from 84 to 94, so that's going to be pretty much put him at the 100 mark. The higher his faith, the stronger his glacial gun will hit, because it is faith-based in the calculations with magic guns. So at this point, Mustadia is pretty much hitting for almost maximum damage, or close enough at this point.
That was a smart buff.
Alright, and Wing's going to send a cure top off on his ninja to get back to full health. Or near full health, was 300.
Well, nice thing that Guillotine did, he did put some pressure early on while staying safe. Keeping his units back still. So it forced WngMan to respond, so he couldn't just have everything buff. You know, that White Mage is a very good buff unit. And having to waste the turn on cure is a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
He's also a little bit more spread out now.
Right, and very glad you made those observations there. It looks like Guillotine's trying to kind of take into account what he's seen last game and trying to play off that, which is what you should be doing. This game is the deciding factor for this match anyway, so he's really going to have to put all the money down, if you will, and try to play his best to avoid losing, so that he can go and push to Game 3. So yeah, that pressure, but staying up close is definitely good on his behalf. Thankfully, his Dragoon does have a turn, and he hasn't been toadied yet, so which you're not going to be able to toad on this map anyways, at least not with Geomancy, so he definitely is safe to definitely safe to get a jump off if that's what he's aiming for. I was actually going to go for the focus there. Okay, not a bad option there. The speed and the power increase will also strengthen not only jump damage, but also jump time.
He might have been looking to jump on the ninja and then realized it would go too fast. I don't know.
True.
But either way, focus is a great starting play. It's only going to make that Dragoon's damage all that much nastier if you can keep it safe.
Yeah. Or again, both rousing melodies.
The nice thing about that Dragoon.
Oh no.
Oh man, that's bad. Ouch.
Okay. Yeah, that's. Sorry, I cut you off, but that was super unfortunate. I had to make a comment on that one. Wing landed, I believe it was 4/5 of his rousing, and then Guillotine landed 0 out of 5 on his. So that was kind of rough to see when we're trying to keep speed relatively the same with Ace.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see.
No, that kind of stings a little bit to see that, to be honest. Especially when you're both having a rousing melody race at the same time. Alright. Oh, sad face. Wing will toss another bomb there and get a 280 plus oil on Guillotine's Iron Knight. The Iron Knight did respond with a counter attack, but sadly the ninja's high front evasion allowed him to dodge it. Alright, so Guillotine's Thief is not able to get in range, I don't believe, to get a Chantage Kashmir attack, which Kashmir in the mod has a 50% chance to inflict, immobilize, and disable together, so the Chantage allows those status chances to be at 100% while you have it, so all is really going to be relative is, does it get evaded or not. But he's not doing that. He's actually going to regroup, and looks like he's going to get in the Ido off. Going to get Kiyomori there. Going to get Protected Shell on his entire team stack, so it's never a bad thing. Refreshing that Protect Shell buff a little bit later in the match ensures that it carries over a little further in to the late game. Alright, and we're shifting over now to...
Yeah, he definitely has more time.
Go ahead, what's up?
Guillotine definitely has more time to breathe and buff and stuff in this match for sure.
It does.
Not having elemental mitigation is tough against that Mandalia though.
Yeah, as we've seen, the Onion did die to Mustadio's Glacial Gun. He had Oil, which Oil doubles damage from all elemental attacks except for Holy and Dark. So the ice shot from the Glacial Gun one-shot the Onion. So that is the first KO for this game, but it's nothing to really worry about. I would say currently Guillotine does have plenty of options. If he wants to get his Onion Knight back up, his Ramza can use Encourage, which is a 2-range revive essentially, to get the Onion back into shape if he needs it. Yeah. But I kind of have to keep in mind that. Okay.
Yeah, looks like he's not going for the...
Alright, he's keeping pressure up. He's going for the Kiku Ichimonji there. Alright, a Will Shatter, but you got a nice 320 hit there. Mana Shield absorbed, and then also White Mage's innate Arcane Defense did reduce that damage taken. Alright, we got a 2 Fizz rousing on that connect.
I definitely could potentially see Ramza being a target now. He's up there a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a risky play.
Yeah, he's kind of all in the front. I mean, the team's behind him, but I mean, it does give Wing a lot of options to kind of fiddle with that Ramza now. To me, just kind of in line of sight.
He did miss the action on that Onion. This is a big deal. He missed the action on that Onion Knight, and if he would have brought him back up, he might have got a nice shot off with him.
Yeah, like breaking Mustadio's gun would be nice if we get the Yoichi landing.
And that white mage's just being a healer this game. Like doing its job.
It's like seeing white magics.
I've seen a lot of funky stuff with white mages lately, so it's nice to just see a white mage doing white mage stuff.
Alright, looks like Wing's going to charge a Forbidden Dance up with his Bard, and he's going to get into the middle of the map. That's going to, for the most part, put in position just about every unit in Guillotine's range. Dance is 5 range in the mod. It's not a across the map like it was in the original game, so it does have its own AoE to the caster. But with that being said, Forbidden Dance can hit just about everybody, so it looks like Wing's going to kind of capitalize on getting some statusing potential off now. It's going to go for the Tingle Vine. Gets the 3-stack.
Yep.
Okay, thankfully no status rolls there.
No stops.
Yep. No stops there, so Guillotine's safe for now.
If I was Guillotine here, I'd definitely be looking into dealing with Forbidden Dance and getting that Onion Knight back up.
Yeah.
Those are kind of the 2 crucial things I'm seeing here. If you can do those things, he can still be in the game. Be in a good spot.
I agree, yeah. Ramza has no status mitigation coverage too outside of Silence, which Silence is going to do. I mean, it covers like Ultima and Shout and even Encourage, so it does have some purpose in regard, but more important to be looking at like the Revive or dealing with the Bard, like we're saying.
Maybe a potential jump on the Bard is what I'm predicting.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea, especially if we can get it.
Don't know if he'll be able to bring his own Onion Knight back up with anybody else though. I do think I would have liked to see the Onion Knight get back up sooner than that.
Yeah, looks like he's going to go ahead and charge the jump on Mustadio. If his Mana Shield doesn't connect, then Mustadio will be one shot once the jump lands. Alright, shifting over to Guillotine's Blue Mage. I think his Blue Mage has He doesn't have items, it's just Bard's Song. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to go and switch songs though at this point, especially since Rousing has, for the most part, whiffed on his end. He's going to commit to it. All right, that's a successful landing there on the non-mana shield Musadia, so Musadia will get KO'd. Another whiff on Rousing Melody. His luck is just really unfortunate. This now, keep in mind, I will caveat this. He doesn't have Performing Arts, which is a 20% increase to the hit chance of Rousing Melody. So his Rousing Melody is a 40% window. That right there alone definitely play a bigger role with seeing a lot more misses that we're seeing. He's also not he's not running Garment Ring, and he's not a Bard, of course. So that's also kind of hard too. Ouch. Okay.
Ouch. Yeah, that's a big steal.
That was a really big steal there. So
Dragoon can still revive units, so it could still be a potential important unit for Guillotine, but that is a huge bummer.
That was a real big bummer. So just
definitely bring that.
Just to highlight that was a pretty important play. So Dragoons have innate safeguard, so they can't have their stuff stolen or broken, right? But the Thief's Glove that Ninja has as an accessory, it actually allows you to get around safeguard. So that meant that he was able to actually steal that Jav too, and that was pretty big. That means it kind of cuts off his ability to do really high hidden jumps. His Dragoon isn't, like you're saying, his Dragoon isn't, completely useless or anything. It's still usable. He still has Mastery Arts behind him. He still has abilities in Dragon Tech, but he just doesn't have that really hard hitting jump anymore.
Yeah, and you kind of see how how synergistic the Ninja is with its high movement. It's able to get in there. It's got a Thief's Glove, so it's able to, like you were saying, steal from pretty much any unit, and with that movement, it can get in there and threaten anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, high movement also gives it its throw a much higher range.
Right. Absolutely.
So it has power throw. It's a really pesky unit.
Definitely a pesky unit. Yeah.
If you find yourself in a position like that, it's good to try to protect those units that rely on their gear a lot, like the Dragoon.
Mm-hmm. Especially when you see a Thief's Glove on a unit that has steel, that it's okay. This is now a threat because they can get around that safeguard that he normally has. That I wouldn't have to worry about.
It's good to see that Thief's Glove's getting some play, though. It's a really good unit, and a lot of us have kind of slept on it on the channel. So
yeah, it's
used it a few times, but
definitely on the rare use side. But it definitely has showcased his strength, and as we just seen, it's honestly that's probably one of its bigger strengths. As you see it getting used against the safeguard unit, of course, or any more so a unit that relies on its weapon. Ooh, that was a nice smack there, though. Roms did that 420 hit on that White Mage, which will go to her mana shield and cut off her ability to cast. That haste is just not working out for Guillotine. He really needs to change songs at this point, or switch to Blue Magic's one of the two. Like I feel like he's burning a lot. He's not burning actions, but he's not getting a lot of value out of that Blue Mage for the most part. At least I feel like that's the case.
It's a tricky unit. You might go for a melee attack on the Ninja and try to turn it into a Toad.
Yeah, especially with Wing being that close, I wager that would be probably one of his best bets right now, to kind of keep that control and presence that he has. They both currently have a decent bit of presence equally. They both have a unit down on each side, and they're both kind of messing around. So I mean, I do think he could probably make use of engaging with that Blue Mage now. That was a good play there by Guillotine. He got that Onion Knight up. However,
yeah, I would have liked to seen it sooner.
Yeah,
I think he might have waited a little too long on that.
Yeah, I don't know if he had checked the CT on that Geomancer too prior to that. I don't know if he kind of risk assessed that or not.
So something he could have maybe checked and then realized that the Onion Knight would just go down again.
Oh, that's a stop. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's not good. It's not good. Alright, the Bard is both disabled and immobilized thanks to the Thief's Kashmir, so I think that she's probably going to be the next threat that Wing is looking at, and sure enough that seems to be the case. He's shifting gears to her now. I believe his basic attacks aren't enough to kill her. She'll put her in critical, but course, if it lands a crit, then that's it. But that would be another idea. And that's another landed successful steal.
Yeah, that's huge. And if you look at all the units on the map, you know, both teams have units that heavily revolve around a piece of gear or two. Like, you know, Mustadio's Orator with that gun, the Toad Song on the Blue Mage. So being able to come in and disrupt that and take that away for the rest of the game is huge.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad we're seeing some steal, some successful steal action going on. I don't see steal all the time, so like seeing it in play, and then also seeing it land when you use it is kind of satisfying. I know it kind of sucks too on the other end, but it's satisfying to see as from the spectate end of it at least. Ooh, that was
I would like to say it's nice to see. It's nice to see Guillotine kind of shift the tactics. There's a few things that hurt a little early on. I think pushing that WngMan and not reviving the Onion Knight was a big one.
Yeah,
it was kind of the same mistake in one play. Not necessarily a mistake, but you know, it was a risky kind of play, and maybe just burn out a little bit of the clock when you're considering something like that. Think about it: is it worth it? You know, the timer's there, but you gotta take those big plays. But compared to last game, his strategy changed up in a nice way. He was able to kill the Mustadio, disable the Bard. That ninja, I think, surprised him a bit.
I think so. I think so. I think he overlooked him, and it's kind of paying the price for a little bit now. Do we get some confuses? No confuses there. But that was it was a good play there. He had to take advantage of the AoE, being able to hit all 3 units there. So yeah,
pretty good damage to the rest of the team. Yeah, I think he just went for it.
Yeah, you just go for it. I mean, see if you can get it. If he
that could have been a kind of swinging.
Oh.
Yeah, that could have been a swing for him.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. That could have been definitely a swing play for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that was worth at least trying.
I don't know if he has a good unit to get that Blue Mage out of stop, but it shouldn't last too much longer.
Shouldn't. And WngMan just did down Wings Geomancer, so and also put the ninja in the critical. So I did it again. Guillotine is not going anywhere just yet.
He's got a few months. Give him a few months and he'll be there. Start calling him Guitar all you want, and I'll take it as a compliment.
We Guitar 1, Guitar 2, right? Yeah, he's still very much in this fight. He's not going anywhere just yet.
Yeah, for sure. So,
he might be looking at a
interesting to see Guillotine come up with some strategies that are a little high risk, high reward early on. You know, makes me excited to see what he'll do eventually.
Right. That was a really good jump play there. He's doing an unarmed jump actually, and it's still solid. Yep, and that Protect Shell just fell off, so that's a good 420 jump there. That will down Wings and Ninja. As we are now entering the 30th action of the game. Both clocks are decent between both players, so they got time to burn if need be. I think Wing's going to play the safe bet and get up his 100 CT Ninja, which is definitely a smart play there. So that Ninja will be able to act immediately since the Bard ends his turn.
My stream cut out for just a second. Apologize again, but
oh, you're good. You didn't miss much.
I caught the gist.
Yeah, Shuriken just went out, so yeah. So that will down Guillotine's Dragoon. So at the moment, Guillotine has 3 units in play. 1 unit is stopped, but the units alive, it's pretty even up right now. It is 3-3. Wing's going to retreat his ninja to the furthest point of the map that he can. Thanks to his high move, he's able to do so. I wonder if Wing is looking at potentially getting a raise off from the Stadio. Would it be worth it, or is he gonna go for the barrier? Okay, I think that's a smart play there. Just make sure that protect shells up. We're getting towards the end of the match, regardless, but making sure that mitigation's up is still very vital. Alright, so Guillotine's Thief, she doesn't have her weapon. She is silenced, but that won't really matter right now. But she doesn't have the weapon. She still has the idol in secondary, so she still is able to check that ninja, which is exactly what he's aiming for. Alright, that will down Wing's ninja. As currently 3-2 Guillotine. Guillotine's blue mage should be coming out of stop here momentarily as well, so I would say the Guillotine just needs to keep that pressure up. He's maintaining board presence. All right. And speaking of which, he is maintaining board presence. He's doing a Cheery Gerade here. Wing's white mage goes into critical and cuts through Wing's Bard's mana shield. And the stop does fall off from the blue mage, which will now resume his Bard song. Alright, and Chocopilla's will connect. Now we'll take down Wing's white mage. Wing's in trouble here. He is facing 3 units versus 1 right now, and his Bard is in low health. Not critical just yet, but he does have items. So this isn't out just yet, as Wing is having to assess his Phoenix down plays. Now his Bard can't get around the map too well, so that's going to be another danger, if you will. He's not going to be able to run away from Guillotine at all. It looks like he's just going to charge up Forbidden Dance to see if he can Hail Mary it. Alright, here we go. This is probably going to be a wrap here for Wing. Alright, Guillotine. I gotta fix that someday. Guillotine will go ahead and go for the Muramasa there, and that's a 399 KO, and that will get Guillotine game 2. Alright, let's get these guys back on the stage here. Alright, Wing and Guillotine, you guys are unmuted. Good game to you both.
Yeah, good game.
Guitar, are you there? I know you say we're cutting out a little bit. I don't know if you came back or not. Yeah, you might be a little bit of trouble. It's all good though. Alright, fellas. Well, since we are going to game 3, and since the previous maps were both medium, that means that we're going on a small map. So that means Orbonne Monastery is the game 3 map automatically, as it was rolled for game 3. We're going to take a moment here to make sure. Check with the guitar real quick. Having a little bit of issues earlier. Okay, I got you, Guitar. So he can watch, but can't hear. All good though. We're gonna go and start the Game 3 roster verification in a moment. I will be back with you all in about 4 or 5 minutes. Right.
This will be an interesting map for this game 3.
We are in Game 3. This is a deciding game that will determine who will take this Series 2 for Glory. And we are taking it to Orbonne Monastery, the first map in the game. This is a small map, so engagement is going to be very quick. I suspect there's going to be a lot of movement very fast, so let's see what happens.
Should be a quick game one way or the other. Yeah. But you never know.
Never know.
I've seen some games go to 40 actions on this map.
Yeah, yep.
Both players brought some pretty aggressive teams. So.
Absolutely, and yeah, I think this is gonna. Flip flop very quick, or we're gonna have a really fast decision within a matter of turns. Wing does have a really high move, power throw ninja, so he shouldn't necessarily have to worry about engaging, but he could take a play and make a steal there, but he's not gonna do that just yet. Gonna try to risk the oil there.
I almost expected him to. I almost expected that still play too.
I honestly was
went
too.
A little bit safer, like you're saying.
Yeah.
I think it's safe. He does that. Probably waits or moves the ninja out of the way. He gives himself a little bit more flexibility without, just kind of giving that ninja away. Throw him up there, he's gonna die.
Agreed. Looks like Wings.
Did the oil land?
Did the what in?
Did the oil land?
No, the oil did not land on the flame burst. Nope.
Ah.
Yeah, otherwise he would have been able to synergize all that pretty quick, but no, thankfully he didn't, so nice 280 chunk there on the Dragoon, but he will not be oiled this time around.
This is a real interesting unit Wings using. It's very flexible, you can do a lot of different things with that re-equip. Tough to play in PvP because you gotta do it quick. I've definitely know all too well that time limit's always working against you, but it can give you a lot of flexibility for a lot of different teams.
Oh yeah.
Really fun ability. Oh, he's pushing strong.
Pushing strong, yeah. Wasn't expecting that, okay. Yeah, he moved
maybe potentially
right to the Unionite. Right to Guillotine's Unionite.
Potentially, he's not worried about things because he has re-raise on the blue mage, but I think he's got to be careful of that ball the air. I definitely anticipate seeing some status attempts from WngMan against that ball the air.
You mean Beowulf?
Or Beowulf, yes.
Ah, gotcha.
Yep, every time. Guillotine trying to go for the break dance on the gun, but did not land. That would have been huge.
That would have been big. But I respect it though.
Good chunk of damage.
Yeah, I respect the push. I mean,
yeah. Great play.
All right, there's that concentration to work.
Potential downfall of pushing that. Blue mage.
Alright, that's a KO. Alright, the Dragoon will go down with his first kill of this game 3 here, so 5-4 WngMan.
Smart unit to go after?
Yeah. Of course, Wing is kind of eyeballing that Beowulf. Beowulf will get the next action. So, trying to making sure he's playing it safe and not able to get engaged with that white mage for the time being. Yeah, not moving is definitely the play there.
If I'm Guillotine, I definitely want to be checking CT and see if I can get that Dragoon back up without it instantly going back down.
Right. Which, speaking of which, it seems to be the case.
Hopefully he checked the CT before he did that.
He did. He's at 96, so should be a safe res there.
He's a smart guy. He's learning.
Oh,
smart player.
I think we missed something though. Yeah. The Geomancer's going first. And Wing is definitely capitalizing on that. Hopefully.
Yeah, you gotta check those CT times.
Yeah. Alright, well, that Dragoon will get redowned. No contortion stone, thankfully, for Guillotines. But still a 204 across AoE on 3 hits there by WngMan's Geomancer. And now WngMan's White Mage is following 3 rings.
So potentially, if Guillotine had checked CT, he might have been able to attack the Geomancer with Beowulf rather than try to heal the Dragoon.
Right. Looks like he's gonna go for the Toad Song Syncadia combo.
Yeah, it could be big.
Alright, they get the
and
frog
Toad
land.
lands.
Oh, there it is.
Big land.
Yeah, there's that revenge play from game 1.
And since he played the Ninja a little bit more safe round 1, he's got plenty of options now 2. But he can't steal that spear from the Dragoon. And if he steals the bow from the Onion, he's just going to have 2 fists. So I suspect he might try to go for the Blue Mage, potentially?
Potentially, yeah.
Or a throw. Maybe.
I can see like
I think he wants to try to get in there and still. I think he wants to try to get in there and still boff the Ear's weapon. So he wants.
Still accessory
in the middle of that map,
either.
but then he's gonna have to protect him.
But he looks like he's gonna risk it anyways. And he's going for it. Oh. Well, thankfully he won't be able to counter because the bow is still 3 range to 5 by default, so he won't be able to get the counterplay there. So, thankfully Guillotine's bow is safe. I could kind of see what Wing was going with that. If he did land and he stole the bow, he won't be able to use the Yoichi to potentially break like Mastadio's weapon, but then he would potentially get counterattacked. But the Ninja has high evasion, so there's a chance he could have dodged at least one of those hits and maybe lived.
So something we're seeing that I was looking at before the games even started is each team had a unit that could break or steal items, and both of those units are out game 3. And I think both of them, have a really good chance of nerfing the opponent's unique. If this Yoichi bow was able to break Mustadio's gun, that could hurt that unit a lot.
Still no break. Oh,
no
man.
break.
It will be in critical though.
You would have brought Shantag.
Yeah, but the thief with the immobilized disable is pretty solid too, though. And she does have an opportunity.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's a great unit. Yeah, good point.
So he can still shut down the Mustadio as long as he doesn't dodge it. And still can look at different plays. But I do think the Mustadio is the main threat right now, especially with this turn coming up. Yep, seems to be the case.
Curious to see what this Balthier does. I was actually expecting.
Oh, Friado, okay.
I was actually expecting Ramza this game.
Oh, that's not good. Okay.
Wow.
That's not good. So that will give Wing the opportunity to act with the Mustadio, who's barely hanging by a thread here.
He's got a lot of options.
He does.
I think you look at the CT and see who's going next. I think if he was able to disable that
Beowulf is
Balthier, that would help him out a lot. Yeah, Beowulf. Gosh.
It's okay. I've been calling Guillotine Guitar half the night. So.
I keep doing it. Yeah, he wants to target that Beowulf.
He does. I don't know if he can
either break its weapon, keep it status, and if he can disable it or immobilize it, that thief can come in and steal its weapon, and it takes away his ability to cause statuses himself.
I think he's assessing if he can make that shot, which honestly I'm not 100% sure he can either. Because where the
I don't
ninja
think he can
is.
from that square.
Oh, never mind.
Oh no, he can. Oh, he's just going for the regular attack. I expected the disable.
I suspected the disable too. The level 1 will roll there. Still a decent chunk of HP lost there on Beowulf. Beowulf will now also get his action. So Everyone's still kind of
So you
pretty wide open.
think
for
he was
place.
trying to roll the dice and get a? I think he was trying to roll the dice and get a charm there, maybe.
He did, but that's the thing. He didn't have a charm. He didn't have the charm in the preview on the forecast. So I think it was his HP was. He still had enough bulk to survive it. I mean, if the level 3 rolled,
Maybe
I think he could have. Maybe.
I think that's that's kind of what I was thinking. Maybe he was going for that risk. He wanted that level 3 to roll.
Yeah. I think the disable would have been the best play for that case if he was just trying to make sure he couldn't do anything silly. But honestly, I'm hoping Guillotine doesn't go for a break. I know he loves to go for breaks, but I don't think break is a good idea right here. But rather go for something like Dispel or Sleep, like anything with a higher hit chance that he could take advantage of. The CT lines up.
I think if he can stop the Geomancer, that would help a lot, or Dispel on Mustadio to get rid of that re-raise.
Yeah,
I like both options. Yeah, he's going for the Geomancer.
Going for the break.
I don't know if that's the.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the play.
Yeah, with such
high
risk.
Yeah, you could go for something safe there. You could go for a disable as well. I think both players could have went for a disable,
right,
with their uniques there and had more success.
Agreed. But it seems like they both got their second win, so so we're still going.
I think they both wanted to go for the big play there, and like they both, just didn't hit the roll.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like that was the case ultimately.
I appreciate seeing the high risk, high reward play, regardless of if it turns out or not. That Dragoon's still down though. It's not looking great for Guillotine. This Geomancer is a big threat to this team, all grouped up here. Yaido does really well on this map.
It does, and thankfully, some of the positioning that Wing can get it. I mean, he can definitely get the two stack where the Thief and the Iron Knight is. He might be looking at that. That Blue Mage is a threat though. The stop and the Toad infliction is something that's going to be kind of troublesome for him if he doesn't look at. But he's not going to be able to down him outright, so he's probably going to need to lean on status for that specifically to get that Blue Mage out of play for a little bit at least. Alright, it seems to be the case there. He's trying to follow up and see if we can get the Confuse. Alright, Confuse will not land. Decent chunk of damage into Mana Shield there.
That was important for Guillotine. Now he's got potential nasty melee attack if he wants to. He doesn't have a whole lot of room to move it though. He's kind of boxed in by the Ninja and the Geomancer.
Yeah.
He's going for the Ninja. That's not a bad play.
Not a bad play. Not a bad play at all. Alright. You will get you got both. Yeah, you got both. That's solid. Alright, and the Disable and Mobilize will fall off on Wing's Blue Mage. 70 CT, so he will be able to get an action with that unit once his turn rolls. Alright, good shot there by Guillotine. That will down Mustadio.
The only downside is did not give potential for the weapon to break since Mustadio was killed in the attack, and he does have re-raise on.
Yeah. But so, that's also good. That's good.
We definitely have not seen the last of that Mustadio. Yeah, things are looking really good for Guillotine right now. It's a rough turn of events for Wing. Looks like he's got his Blue Mage back though.
He does, and Protect Shell is falling off on the 19th action here of the game 3, so we're now going to be seeing unmitigated damage, which Wing should definitely be, well, both players should be capitalizing on, but Wing currently has the upcoming actions, so he should be capitalizing on that, that's for sure. Especially with that Mustadio being hard-hitting as is, the way he's built, so if he can follow up with a couple multi-downs here, then that can pretty much end it for Guillotine.
He's gotta choose the right units, though, because
he does.
Obviously, his Mustadio is very offensively built, which is great, but he's got to capitalize on that, because he can't bring his White Mage out of status just
there
yet.
You go. Yeah. That will do it. Alright, Beowulf goes down there with the glacial gun shot. It's a solid 123 tick region there to Mustadio as well, so we might be seeing a lot of flip-flopping going on here in a second. It's pretty the norm for Orbonne, to be honest with you.
I mean, I think we've already seen some flip-flopping.
That is true, yeah. It's been back and forth here all game. But that's honestly like the chaos you see in this swamp.
Wing does seem to be in a pretty good place here.
He is, yeah,
doing
currently.
a lot of damage with protection removed.
Yeah, and
he's got one unit fill and re-raise. That Onion Knight's got to put in work if Guillotine wants to come back. He doesn't necessarily have a way to bring his downed units back. Beowulf and the Dragoon.
Yeah, he's running out of options very quick there as Wing's Geomancer will now also down Guillotine's Thief with Muramasa. So Wing definitely has the board there. His Blue Mage's Stealth will kick in since he moved 5 tiles. This gives him a 100% hit rate. That Sleep will also connect there with Chantage as well as Straight Blades. So Guillotine is in a really, really bad state now at this point. His Onion Knight's really the only thing he can really act with at this point, especially with that Blue Mage being asleep. So he's basically either got the choice of going for the revive or trying to see if he can get a one-shot on someone, which he has a couple hits, but I don't know if that's... yeah, I think he's going for the smart play. There you go. There you go. Good deal there.
Good play.
Yep.
I don't know. Did he check the CT ahead of time, though?
He did. Yeah, the Thief was definitely going next, thankfully.
Very good. Very good Guillotine.
All right, now he's got his
saw some chances. I will say. I will say this game, Mustadio's put in a lot of work, but you see a lot of work getting put in by pretty much all of Wingman's units at this point.
Yes.
The White Mage is currently out, but it did a lot of damage just by getting re-raise on that Mustadio.
Oh!
How that miss is big.
Oh man, that Invis with the shield block, even against concentration, that is really big there. That's going to give Wingman the next following actions here. That's kind of going to put a death sentence there for Guillotine, I think. He's not out just yet, but he's definitely it's not looking good.
That Onion Knight once again would have to put in a lot of work.
Yes, and I think that's something that Wingman's looking at, is potentially going for the Onion Knight now.
Yeah, Sleep's not falling off just yet. He's not gonna wake that.
He could get the counter attack. He could get the counter. He did not get the counter, however.
Not countered. Wow.
Yeah.
Guillotine did manage to shut down a few of these units, and
he did.
I think if he would have had some more power to bring back some of his units, he'd be in a really good place right now, but he just didn't have that.
Yeah, he's also in a really nasty item range there for double kill for Wing, as he can just position his Geomancer in the middle and go for a Cherry right there, or even like Muramasa's enough to get a double down.
The combo with that Geomancer and that
not worried about it, though.
Mustadio is just almost enough offense for a whole team by itself.
Yeah.
Noticed a lot of Wingman team is just centered around supporting that. It's a really good team.
Yeah, it's a pretty strong combo there. And even like the White Mage has been put in pretty decent work former games, and even the Ninja put a lot of work in on Mandalia. That is
yeah. It's hard to pick a single MVP, but that Mustadio reigned havoc the whole match.
Oh, for sure. All right. Looks like that's going to be a wrap here, as that's the last action for attack, and that will be going off instantly.
It's another example of the Wingman shuffle. You think you got it, and he steamrolls you.
Shuffle indeed. But that will take it. Wingman is victorious for this series. GG.
Yeah, great. Obviously, well played by WngMan, but also some great plays from Guillotine. I think a lot of lessons were learned, but ultimately, he never let WngMan coast. He kept some threats up in that game 3 for sure.
Oh, definitely. And speaking of which, Wing and Guillotine, you guys are back on the mic. Good game to you both. That was an excellent performance of Game 3, and just honestly, the entire match was fun to watch and to spectate. But that Game 3 was definitely really awesome to watch. You guys kind of just going back and forth and kind of like a nail biter, just about almost the entire way through.
Yeah. I honestly thought I was down for the count and managed to make a nice U-turn there midway through the match.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. I'm dubbing it the WngMan Shuffle.
We're shuffling it up. But yeah, good games to you guys both. Guitar, I know you were just talking about MVP stuff, like as that match was concluding. Who would you say would be Wing's probably the MVP just in general? I know there's I think there could be multiple choices there, but who would you pick out of the one?
Yeah, there's multiple choices, but the obvious one is the Mandalia. Just put the pressure the whole match. Was well played. Yeah, I don't know.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I'll change up a little bit. I think the Ninja. I think the Ninja was Wing's MVP. In general, for me at least, and of course I won't disagree with him on Stadio for sure. Definitely a force to be reckoned with. But the ability to power throw at range, like at high range, and then being able to like follow up with the Thief's Knife steel weapons was huge in itself. Seeing those successfully connect to and cripple weapon reliant units is another big thing too, and that was really awesome to see. You don't see a lot of that. You don't see a lot of that here lately, like those types of plays. So like being able to like see that's something I feel like I really have to highlight and touch base on. But I think the Ninja put a lot of work in, but collectively, yeah, I would say most of Wing's team definitely put the work in. The Geomancer and Stadio, like we were saying earlier, definitely like the offensive force in his squad, and everyone else was kind of like working behind them. Those two as they play and collectively push kills and stuff like that. What about Guillotine's team?
Yeah, something we were talking.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, real quick. Something we were talking
Yeah.
about with WngMan's team right before they jumped back on was there was a balance of how the units work together. They all have their weaknesses, but they all kind of cover those weaknesses, and obviously it can fall apart like game 2, but that Ninja makes a fantastic alternate unit. The whole team's just very well built. A lot of elemental mitigation, just a solid team in general. For Guillotine, I think the units that became the VIPs changed throughout.
Okay.
That Ramza was really nice game too.
Oh yeah, he was.
Had a lot of AoE threat. I think I wanted to see that Dragoon actually be the MVP for the whole match. It just got shut down, but you saw WngMan's resources go to that really early. So as far as just a nice team unit that complemented his team really well, I'd say that Dragoon was it. You saw that a lot in game 2, but the Thief surprised me too. I almost want to say the Thief was the MVP.
I can agree with that. I surprisingly enough, she's kind of lurking in the shadows, but the immobilized disable plays definitely put some hindrance on WngMan's capabilities to follow up. It didn't necessarily, was the end all be all when a unit gets locked down, if you will, but just being able to like, okay, well this white mage is going, let me just go in and like shut her off basically for a little bit, kind of keeping those units off the board, if you will, and reducing WngMan's capabilities to make multiple plays from just simply hitting with the Chantage with the Chantage Kashmir attack. I think added a lot of value. Beowulf, I would have liked to see Beowulf make some more Spellblade plays. I think there was a lot of reliance on break there, where there was a lot more opportunity for like sleep and disable, like we were talking about earlier. But I do think that the Thief
disable
was...
would have been.
I do think that the Thief was like probably the main MVP. Now the Blue Mage was right behind her too, like almost like a second place. The Cincadia Toad Song combo, just being able to get those hits off with the innate concentration, like being able to get either the stop or the toad or even both at one point, like again, it's another hindrance factor. Like being able to shut off options is really strong, and we've seen that between both players throughout the series. Being able to status units has a lot of value, and status is a very prominent thing, and I want to iterate that that's a very important thing that I don't want anyone to sleep on, because statuses can really control the pace of a game very quickly. And we've seen that even through this series, like how fast statuses can control. Just game 1, disable the Toad from Torrent, like that was already almost a deal breaker there just on Zeirchele Falls. And then going into game 2, it's definitely want to highlight that, guys, do not sleep on statuses. Stacking for powers is there's no problem in it, but having that status really can make or break it. It can change a game pace just like that too. So
agreed. And I think another good thing that got highlighted, especially in game 3, but also in game 1 a bit, checking those CT times and seeing if you can bring your unit back up or not. I think there was a missed opportunity maybe early on to bring the Onion Knight back in game 1. And then in game 3, you saw Beowulf go for a Phoenix down when I think it might have been a better chance to like try to disable that Geomancer or something. And like sometimes you just got to roll the dice, but just good learning opportunity there too.
Oh yeah, and I want to.
I don't know if I would have made that play, but I saw it afterwards, so kind of good for all of us to see.
Yeah, and I want to highlight, since Guillotine's not able to speak with us on mic, but he did message me. He was saying, if Messiah's gun had broken, he would have had a higher chance of winning. Which, I mean, true. I mean, I know that was one thing he was going for. He tried to Yoichibo focus down Mustadio, and he got 2 successful hits there in game 3. But sadly, that 50% roll was not in his favor, and he couldn't get that glacial gun break. If he can get that break, that would have been a nice means to, like, Mustadio would have to engage with Speechcraft, or he'd have to like run up against somebody like next tile over to do an aim shot.
Start
since it'd be one range.
Disable shots, yeah.
Yeah. So like, there was definitely some value that he was trying to go for there, and we did witness that too. Like he was trying to go for Mustadio's weapon and trying to cut it off, so that he can limit those options as well. And sadly, it didn't land to be the case this game. He had Onion Gloves on instead of Chantage, which, I mean, Onion Gloves is really good too because it protected him against all the statuses that were coming in as well. It was never a bad thing. It's just one of those things. It's just how it can be sometimes. But I am glad that Guillotine was kind of aiming for that too. Like he had mentioned it to me that he was trying to go for that.
It was a very, very good play. Yeah, I was afraid of that. That's why I was just like, I had a few options with the ninja, and I attempted to steal the bow, so you couldn't break Mustadio's gun, but I missed. But RNG worked in my favor a little bit there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we were commenting on the match earlier that both of you brought in your like break / steal equipment units, and both were a big threat game 3. I noticed with Guillotine's team, it's a well put together team. I really enjoyed the high risk, high reward of having those 50% chances on all those weapons. So sometimes it's going to pay off, and sometimes it's not. But it's still a great, fun team to watch, nonetheless.
Oh yeah, and he also wanted to mention that the first map, Zeirchele Falls, was definitely was terrible for his team composition, which I think we agreed with that pretty quick. Like the fact that all of his units were pretty much melee ranged, and Wing had a lot of ranging capabilities. Really shut down Guillotine very quickly. Within the first couple of turns, he was already with a disabled Beowulf, and he already had the Geomancer run into the water and get the. Thankfully, only had one toad, but he had a three chance to get 3 toads out there. Thankfully, only had one land there, but still, like a lot of that stuff had changed the tide kind of quickly for that game 1 series. And thankfully, a couple of the swaps he made from Mandalia playing for game 2 kind of played a lot more for his favor, and thankfully he came out for that game 2 and pushed it to game 3. But But either way, not to hold everyone up here, but that will conclude for this evening. Thank you all viewers for being with us from start to finish. For those in the chats, thank you WngMan and Guillotine for a very fun and enjoyable match. And thank you Guitar for co-commentating with me. Enjoy our chit chat in between and your thoughts and takes on some of the actions that were going on as well.
Thanks for having me. Sorry for the technical difficulties game too, but it was a lot of fun.
Oh, no, no problem. No problem. It's understandable. Alright, guys. Well, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this series for this evening. Thank you all once again, and we'll see you all next Tuesday for Series 3. You all have a good one.